This could just be the beginning for the double murder case that has gripped the nation. Alex Murdaugh's attorney filing a notice to appeal his convictions for the murder of his wife and son, along with his 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Meanwhile, the son of the housekeeper that died from an accidental trip and fall wants her body to be exhumed for possible signs of foul play now. Joining us live is NewsNation legal contributor Jesse Weber. Jesse, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Let's start with the notice of appeal. In your opinion, what are the chances that Murdaugh has to win that appeal to overturn the murder charges?
I don't think it's great. It's going to take, first of all, quite some time for this to ultimately play out. We don't know exactly all the grounds that they're going to go through an appeal. I think the 2 major ones are, one, that the financial crimes evidence shouldn't have been allowed in by the judge. They're going to say it's overly prejudicial. It influenced the jury to, make a decision based on Alex Murdaugh's character. I think the problem with that is it was really tied to the motive, right? And I think number 2, how much did the jury really base their decision based on the financial crimes versus all the other significant evidence, like him lying about being at the crime scene? And then I think another significant piece that they're going to go with is saying it was improper for the prosecution to argue in front of the jury that Alex Murdaugh should have told investigators from the very beginning that he was at the crime scene. Now, they're going to say that's a violation of his constitutional rights, that the jury shouldn't take his, failure to open up to police. They can't use that against him. Everybody has a right to remain silent. Those, I think, are their 2 strongest grounds. But after everything we've seen and Alex Murdaugh taking the stand and saying the things that he said, I don't think it's going to be enough for him to get a new trial.
Let's dive a little bit deeper into the financial issue you were just talking about, because I've heard from a few legal voices here on NewsNation the fact that the Murdaugh financials, he admitted to defrauding his clients. The fact that this was brought in, that this was used, some of them found that that was odd. Did that ultimately muddy the waters at all?
Well, look, I think that it was unique, because if you even ask me about the motive, it's still a little shaky. The idea of him killing his family because he didn't want to be exposed for all of his alleged financial crimes. It makes sense on paper, but I will tell you that at the end of the day, in order to get a successful appeal, it's called a reversible error. So there was a mistake made that the end result wouldn't have happened if this, decision wasn't made. So a court would have to say, well, if these financial crimes weren't let in, then is it possible Alex Murdaugh would have been found not guilty? I think that's a bit of a stretch when you look at all of the other evidence, and including the fact that some jurors have come forward and said that it was really the kennel video that swayed their decision, and him taking the stand that, influenced them to say guilty over not guilty. So I hear what people are saying, and at the time I thought it was a bit odd for the financial crimes to come in. I think it's a good argument to make. We'll see how an appellate court feels. I just feel it's going to not be enough for him to get a new trial.
And we are also learning that the son of his housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, wants her body exhumed to be examined for foul play. What would investigators need to find that they missed before to bring charges against the Murdaugh family? What are you tracking with the latest on this?
So it's interesting, because we know that Tony Satterfield sat down with Chris Cuomo a few days ago, and he actually believed that there was no foul play, but he doesn't want to rule it out completely. They're going to have to go back, look at this body, and see, and Eric Bland accompanied him as well, and say, well, is there trauma to the body that would suggest it's not just a slip and fall? Sometimes we see these cases where there's a lot of surrounding factors. When someone dies, they immediately cast it off and say, oh, it must have been an accident. But when things develop in a story, or they develop about a potential defendant, you take a second look. So that could be what they're going to do: exhume the body, see what the different level of injuries were, and if there's more to the story, then investigators are going to move from there. And the problem is, by the way, is that Maggie and Paul, the victims in the Alex Murdaugh case, were the only ones there. They were the only witnesses. So that's going to complicate an investigation as well.
Yes. All right, Jesse Weber, I always appreciate your time. Thanks for being here.
Good seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.